If you're watching this, you've probably already heard and seen way more than you ever wanted to about PFAS or forever chemicals in drinking water. So I'm not gonna spend 5 minutes telling you what PFAS are. Instead, we're gonna jump straight into what you came here for. Which water filters are the best for removing forever chemicals from drinking water at home? All of these systems are officially certified for PFAS reduction and ranked highly in my data-driven scoring system. Now, I want to be really transparent about how I approached this specific roundup because it's a bit different from what I normally do. I did not personally lab test these filters for PFAS specifically. My water source doesn't have PFAS present, and finding a location with confirmed PFAS in the water, which will let me test multiple filters, has been tricky to say the least. So for this one about PFAS water filters, I decided to rely on official performance certifications instead, and every single filter in this video is independently certified for PFAS reduction. Some are certified for specific PFAS like PFOA and PFOS, while others are certified for total PFAS. In all cases, that means that the NSF, WQA, or IAPMO has rigorously tested and verified that a filter can reduce PFAS down to the levels set in the test protocol. Now, I have personally used and lab tested each of these products for more than 100 other water parameters. I tested all 5 systems with tap score kits on my own water at home, which gave me real before and after data for contaminants that were actually present in my water, like fluoride, uranium, nitrate, barium, and more. I also evaluated each system on things like design and component quality, filtration rate, setup and maintenance, ongoing costs, and company policies like warranty and return terms, which make up how a product is scored according to my system. I'm not going to get super deep into that here, but if you want to get nerdy and read all about it, I'll link to it down in the description. If you appreciate this kind of data-driven approach to product reviews and want to see me test more PFAS certified filters, hit the like button and let me know down in the comments which filter I should test next. Okay, so starting off at the top of the list with Aquatru, specifically the carafe model, which ended up with an overall score of 9.57 out of 10 in my system. The classic model came in essentially the same, the main difference being the carafe filters into glass rather than a Triton plastic tank, which boosted its overall score slightly. The main reason that Aquatru is sitting at the top of this list is that it checks both boxes that I care about most for PFAS. It holds certifications for the reduction of 5 specific PFAS and performed exceptionally well in my own lab testing. Across all the filters I've tested so far, the Aquatru systems continue to hold their top position according to my scoring system. Both the carafe and classic models are certified by IAPMO to NSF ANSI Standard 53 for PFOA, PFOS, PFHPA, PFHXS, and PFNA reduction. That means that the IAPMO lab has verified under standardized conditions that these systems can reduce those specific forever chemicals down to below 20 parts per trillion. Certified products must be retested periodically, and manufacturing facilities must be inspected annually to ensure that products continue to meet all requirements. Aquatru also carries a long list of other certifications, including NSF ANSI 42, 58, and 401, covering things like chlorine, volatile organic compounds, pharmaceuticals, inorganics, and heavy metals. These extensive performance certifications, combined with my own tap score testing at home, helped the Aquatru systems earn a contaminant reduction category score of 9.91 out of 10. They eliminated 100% of the most concerning contaminants in my water, including lead, fluoride, uranium, barium, and disinfection byproducts. Because Aquatru is also certified for 100% of the reduction claims they advertise, it scored extremely high in the performance certification part of my system as well. So between the lab results and certifications, this is the highest scoring water filter I've tested so far. Design-wise, the Aquatru Carafe and Classic are both countertop reverse osmosis systems with separate clean and tap water tanks. The Carafe is the smaller of the two and collects the purified water in a glass carafe, hence the name, which gives it a slight edge in the design and component quality categories. The Classic uses Triton plastic tanks, which is still a high-quality, BPA-free plastic and has been tested for material safety, but it doesn't quite match glass in terms of perceived quality and peace of mind. The Carafe earned a perfect design score of 10, while the Classic was just a hair behind at 9.7, still in the outstanding range. In terms of filtration rate and efficiency, these aren't the fastest systems I've tested, but they are among the most efficient in terms of water waste. Traditional under sink RO systems often run at about 1:3 or even 1:4 pure to waste ratio. Aquatru, on the other hand, provides a 4:1 purified to wastewater ratio, which is one of the most efficient I've found so far. The trade-off is speed, which I measured at 0.03 and 0.04 GPM for the Carafe and Classic models respectively. This earned a lower 7 in the filtration rate category. Aquatru is super easy to set up and maintain. Both models are plug and play, there's no drilling, no plumbing, and no special tools required. You open the unit, fill the tap water tank, flush the filters according to the instructions, and you're ready to go. That simplicity earned Aquatru a perfect 10 in the setup category. Maintenance is also straightforward. You've got multiple filter stages with different lifespans, but on-unit reminders tell you when to replace them, and they're easy to swap out. Both the Carafe and Classic scored 9.75 for maintenance. When you factor in rated filter capacity and pricing, the cost per gallon works out to about 19 cents per gallon for the Carafe and 11 cents per gallon for the Classic model. That's very reasonable for a countertop RO system with this level of performance and certification. And finally, the standard 1-year warranty, free shipping, and 30-day return policies earned Aquatru an 8.8 in the company category. I recommend Aquatru first to folks who want the best PFAS water filter, overall broad contaminant reduction and ease of use, especially if you're renting or you just don't want to mess with under sink plumbing. If you want to minimize plastic contact with your filtered water, go with the Carafe. If you'd rather a larger purified water tank and to keep filter replacement costs slightly lower, go for the Classic. Next up is the Culligan ZeroWater pitcher, which came in with an overall score of 9.33 out of 10. This is the most affordable system in terms of upfront cost on this list, with its mixed bed ion exchange resin aggressively stripping dissolved solids from the water. Culligan ZeroWater made this list because it hits a really interesting sweet spot I think a lot of folks will like. It has serious certifications, including for total PFAS. It performed extremely well in my lab testing for other contaminants, and the pitcher style keeps the upfront cost low and the setup effort minimal. The trade-off is shorter filter life and higher cost per gallon, but if you're looking for PFAS reduction without spending hundreds of dollars right away, this is a compelling option. The Culligan ZeroWater pitcher is IATMO certified to NSF-ANSI 53 for total PFAS reduction. It's also certified to NSF-ANSI 42, 53, and 401 for all the contaminants the manufacturer claims to reduce. That's important because it means that every performance claim made on the website has been independently verified by IATMO. Combined with my tap score testing, the Culligan ZeroWater pitcher earned a contaminant reduction score of 9.65 out of 10. It completely eliminated fluoride and uranium in my water, both of which were above the health guideline level before filtration. It also removed every other inorganic, metal, and mineral detected in my water except for carbonate and bicarbonate, which were both reduced by 99.9%. Because of this, the water came out slightly acidic, which impacted its aesthetics subcategory score, slightly lowering it. Design-wise, the Culligan ZeroWater is pretty straightforward. It's a gravity-fed plastic pitcher available in a range of sizes, from small pitchers to larger dispensers that hold up to 40 cups. The materials feel sturdy and well-made, and because it carries the IATMO certifications for material safety and lead-free construction, it received a 9.4 in the design category. You're not getting glass or stainless steel here, and there aren't a lot of extras, but for a plastic pitcher, it's one of the better designs I've tested. When I tested filtration speed, the Culligan ZeroWater pitcher filtered a full upper reservoir of water in just under 7 minutes, which works out to around 1.9 gallons per hour. For a gravity-fed system, that's actually quite good and earned it a high filtration rate score of 9.5. There's no wastewater like with RO systems, and no electricity required. The main efficiency drawback is not water usage, it's filter usage. Because the mixed bed ion exchange media is working so hard to strip everything out, the filters don't last very long. Setup is about as simple as it gets. You wash the pitcher, rinse the filter for 30 seconds, twist it into place, and you're done. That earned Culligan ZeroWater a very high 9.5 setup score. Maintenance is simple in terms of process, but not as great in terms of frequency and cost. The filters are rated for just 20 gallons, which is really short compared to the other systems in this video. That's why the maintenance category score came in lower at 8 out of 10, even though the actual act of changing the filters is easy. Because the filters only have a rated capacity of 20 gallons, the cost works out to roughly 90 cents per gallon, which is one of the highest ongoing costs of all the water filters I've tested so far. You save money up front, but you'll pay more over time for replacement filters. They provide a 90-day warranty on the pitcher and 30-day warranty on the filters. The return policy is ambiguous and handled on a case-by-case basis, though they do offer free shipping on orders over $99. All of this earned Culligan a 7.6 in the company category. I usually recommend Culligan ZeroWater to people who want certified PFAS reduction and overall strong contaminant removal, but who need to keep upfront costs less than 50 bucks and don't want to install anything. If you're okay with shorter filter life and higher ongoing cost per gallon, and you just want a pitcher you can set on the counter and start using today, this is a solid choice. In third place, with an overall score of 9.21 out of 10, is the Waterdrop G3 series, which is a tankless under sink reverse osmosis system. Whereas Aquatru sits on your counter and needs to be manually refilled, the Waterdrop G3 lives under the sink and filters water on demand. The G3 made this list because it combines PFAS certification, strong contaminant reduction in my testing, fast filtration rate, and a low ongoing cost per gallon. The main downsides are a more involved installation and the lack of integrated remineralization. For homeowners, it's one of the best under sink PFAS water filters I've tested so far. The Waterdrop G3 is certified by IATMO to NSF ANSI 53 for PFOA and PFOS reduction. It's also certified to NSF ANSI 42 and 58, covering chlorine, TDS, fluoride, cadmium, hexavalent chromium, and selenium. The 800 GPD model is additionally certified for barium and radium. The G3 P800 earned a contaminant reduction score of 9.28 out of 10. In my TAP score lab testing, it greatly reduced or removed all 10 health-related contaminants that were detected in my water, including fluoride, lead, arsenic, barium, nitrate, and more. So again, here we're seeing that combination of strong third-party certification and strong real-world performance. The main performance difference between this and Aquatru is that Aquatru is certified for many more individual contaminants overall. The Waterdrop G3 scored 9.7 in the design category. It's a sleek, compact, rectangular unit that sits under your sink and connects to a dedicated faucet on top of the counter. One of the standout features is the smart faucet, which has an integrated TDS display and filter life trackers. Plus, it's IATMO certified to NSF ANSI 372 for lead-free material safety. The base system does not include integrated remineralization, so if you want minerals added back in for taste and pH, you'll need to add an extra post filter installed inline on the purified water line. Speed of filtration is where the Waterdrop G3 tankless RO really shines compared to the others. It's rated for up to 800 gallons per day, which in real life translates to on-demand, fast flow of purified water from the faucet. This earned it a perfect 10 in the filtration rate category. No waiting around for a tank to fill, just turn on the faucet and fill your glass. Waterdrop claims it runs at around 3:1 pure to waste ratio, so for every 3 gallons of purified water, only 1 goes down the drain. Now, the system does include automated flushing to address an issue unique to RO systems called TDS creep. I don't know if Waterdrop has factored that into their efficiency rating, but this is on my to-do list to gather first-hand data for an updated future review of this product. If it truly provides a 3:1 pure to drain ratio, that's much better than the 1:3 or 1:4 ratios you see with many conventional under-sink RO systems. The trade-off compared to Aquatru is setup, since this thing requires an invasive under-sink installation. You need to connect it to your cold water line, tie into the drain for wastewater, and drill or repurpose a hole in the countertop or sink for the dedicated faucet. If you're comfortable with basic plumbing, it's doable as a DIY project, but it's definitely more involved than setting something on top of your counter and plugging it into an outlet. Because of that, the setup score is lower than Aquatru, coming in at 7 out of 10. Once it's in though, maintenance is super easy. Both the smart faucet and the body of the unit tell you when the filters need to be changed, the cartridges are simple to swap, and the larger capacities mean you're not changing them constantly. That combination of ease with filter replacement cost earned the G3 a perfect 10 in the maintenance category. When you divide the cost of replacement filters by their rated capacities and add them together, the Waterdrop G3 P800 purifies water for just 11 cents per gallon. That's huge if you've got a larger household or you're using lots of filtered water for drinking as well as cooking every day. Waterdrop backs the system with a 1-year warranty and a 30-day return period, and they offer free shipping to the lower 48 states. Those policies resulted in a company score of 8.65 out of 10 for Waterdrop. I recommend the Waterdrop G series to people who want a PFAS-certified RO system that provides purified water on demand from a dedicated faucet, have the ability to install an under-sink system, and care about fast flow and long-term costs. If you're renting and can't drill or modify plumbing, or you just don't want anything under your sink, then Aquatru or a pitcher would be a better fit. The Culligan MaxClear is a stainless steel gravity system that earned a spot in this roundup because it's one of the most extensively certified stainless gravity filters I've come across, and it scored well overall in my testing despite a few important trade-offs. If you want PFAS reduction in a system that doesn't require power and uses minimal plastic components, this one is worth consideration. The MaxClear combines several things you don't usually see together in a stainless steel gravity system. Official certification for total PFAS reduction, certifications for microplastics, lead, and several pharmaceuticals and pesticides, a mostly stainless steel design, and very simple setup. It didn't score as high as the RO systems in this video, mainly because of slower flow rate and expensive replacement filters, but as a certified stainless steel gravity system, it stood out enough that I wanted it in this PFAS filters roundup. In my testing, the MaxClear earned a contaminant reduction score of 8.88 out of 10. It removed or greatly reduced the major health-related contaminants that were in my water, but the score was pulled down by a detection of dichloromethane, methylene chloride, post-filtration. Because that kind of result is concerning, I dug into it pretty hard. What I found is that methylene chloride is actually one of the specific parameters the MaxClear had to pass during extraction testing as part of its IATMO certification to NSF ANSI standards. In other words, as part of earning its certification, the system and filters have already been tested to prove it's not leaching methylene chloride. On top of that, the MaxClear is certified for 100% of the contaminant reduction claims it makes, including total PFAS, lead, microplastics, and several PPCPs and pesticides. Putting all that together, my interpretation is that the dichloromethane detection in my test is likely a one-off anomaly and not an ongoing issue with the system itself. The fact that it had to pass extraction testing for that exact parameter and that it has multiple performance certifications gives me confidence to still recommend it while being transparent about what I saw in my data. It earned a perfect 10 out of 10 in the design category. The system is mostly stainless steel with only minimal plastic components, the brackets the filters are attached to, and it holds official material safety certifications from IATMO. The stainless steel construction is solid and has a premium feel, and if you're trying to minimize plastic contact with the filtered water as much as possible, this could be a compelling choice. The main performance trade-off is speed. In my testing, the MaxClear's filtration rate worked out to about 0.3 gallons per hour, which is on the slow side even for a gravity filter, which earned it a lower 6.5 for filtration rate. Setup was straightforward and earned a score of 8.5. It took me around 20 minutes to get it assembled, and there's no tedious priming required for the filters. You just have to wait a long time for them to actually filter the water. Maintenance is a mixed bag. On the plus side, the filters are easy to swap and don't require priming. On the downside, the ongoing cost is high, which is why the maintenance category landed at 7.25. At the time of recording, a single replacement filter costs $78.99 and is rated for 50 gallons, which works out to $1.58 per gallon. If you buy filters in larger quantities, the per gallon cost comes down into the $1.20 range, but even then, it's still the most expensive replacement filter cost I've seen so far in my testing. In terms of company policies, the MaxClear earned an 8.8 in my scoring system. The shipping and returns policies are the same as with the Culligan ZeroWater pitcher that I covered earlier in this video. What's different for the MaxClear is the warranty. Culligan gives you a 5-year warranty on the stainless steel vessel and components, which is excellent for a gravity system and a big plus in this category. But the filters themselves are not warranted. I see the Culligan MaxClear as a great fit for people who want a stainless steel gravity water filter with official performance certifications for PFAS, among other things, and who are okay with slower flow and higher ongoing filter cost in exchange for that certification profile. It's especially appealing if you like the idea of a Berkey style filter, but want something with legit performance certifications behind it. The Aquasana clean water machine is a pump-powered countertop system that earned an overall score of 8.4 out of 10 in my scoring system. It's one of the few non-RO countertop filters that combines strong third-party certifications, including PFAS, with good real-world performance and super easy ownership. I wanted this in the PFAS filters lineup because it fills a different niche than the other systems we've talked about so far. It's not a gravity filter and it's not RO. Instead, it uses Aquasana's Clarium cartridge in a pressurized plug-and-play countertop housing, so you get on-demand dispensing without needing to install anything under the sink. It's extensively certified for the contaminants it claims to reduce, including PFOA and PFOS, and in my lab testing, it did a solid job on chlorine, uranium, and several other inorganics. It doesn't quite provide the same performance as the RO systems in this video, but for a non-RO countertop unit, it's one of the strongest I've tested, with one caveat. In the contaminant reduction category, the clean water machine scored 7.86 out of 10. In my tap score testing, it completely removed or greatly reduced a handful of health-related contaminants, including uranium, barium, nitrate, phosphorus, strontium, and more. The main thing that pulled the score down was fluoride. My baseline sample had fluoride above its health guideline level, and after filtration, it was only reduced by about 14%, which kept it above that guideline. To be clear, Aquasana does not claim fluoride reduction for this model, so this isn't a fail, but it's just not the right technology if fluoride reduction is also a top priority. Just like Aquatru, this one does exceptionally well in terms of certifications. The clean water machine is officially WQA certified for all 78 contaminants listed in its performance datasheet, including PFOA and PFOS specifically. That full coverage certification profile earned it a perfect 10 in the performance certification subcategory, and is a big reason it made this best PFAS water filters roundup. Design-wise, it's a simple, compact countertop unit with a 64-ounce rear tank and a tall dispensing spout spout on the front. You fill the back tank with tap water, press a button, and an internal pump pushes water through a single Clarium filter cartridge and out the spout. The spout is tall enough to fit normal glasses and most water bottles without awkward angles. The design score came in at 9.4 out of 10. It's a mostly plastic build, including the tank, but it uses WQA approved plastics and carries material safety and lead-free certifications. You're not getting glass or stainless steel like some of the other systems in this video, but for a lightweight countertop appliance, the build feels sturdy and was obviously well thought out. The clean water machine scored an 8 for filtration rate. Because of the pump, you're not waiting on gravity. You press the button and get a steady stream of filtered water at 0.5 gallons per minute. That's plenty fast for filling glasses and smaller bottles, and in real life, it feels much more convenient than gravity filters, even though it's not a high output RO system. There's also no dedicated drain line and no wastewater to worry about. You're basically converting everything in the tank into filtered water, then refilling when it's empty. Setup is one of the easiest I've tested, and it scored 9.5 in that category. You install the filter cartridge, wash the tap water tank, plug the unit in, and run a single flush cycle that takes just 59 seconds. No plumbing, no adapters on faucet, no long priming routines or multiple tank dumps. You can realistically be up and running in just a couple of minutes. Maintenance scored even higher at 9.75. There's a filter change indicator light that tells you when you're getting close to replacement, and then again when it's time to swap the cartridge, and you only have one filter to worry about. From a cost perspective, Aquasana rates the filter for 300 gallons, and replacement cartridges run about $36, which works out to roughly 12 cents per gallon. That's very reasonable for a countertop filter with this level of certification. In the company category, Aquasana got an 8.2. You get a 1-year warranty and a 90-day return window when you buy direct, which is solid, but you're responsible for return shipping, and the return policy only applies to purchases made through Aquasana, not third-party sellers. Shipping costs and options vary a bit depending on the order, which is why the score is in the fair range rather than 10. I recommend the Aquasana clean water machine to people who want a PFAS certified non-RO countertop filter that's super easy to use and doesn't require installation. It's especially good for renters, apartments, or anyone who just wants to fill a tank, press a button, and get better water without drilling holes or dealing with dumping out wastewater. Now, if fluoride reduction is another one of your top priorities, this one isn't the right fit. It simply isn't designed or certified to do that, and my lab results confirmed it. And if you're on a low sodium diet, you should know that this one softens the water by swapping hardness minerals for sodium, which elevated sodium post-filtration in my testing. In either of those situations, I'd steer you towards one of the RO systems we covered earlier in this video instead. Before we wrap up, I want to quickly acknowledge that the 5 filters I've talked about so far might not work for everyone. Maybe you need a point of entry whole house filter for PFAS, or a different style under sink system, or maybe something that integrates with a setup that you already have. There are actually a lot more PFAS certified filters out there than just these 5. I've just not had the chance to personally test every single one yet. To give you a more complete picture, I spent some time digging through the NSF, WQA, and IATMO certification databases and pulling out every product I could find that's officially certified for PFAS reduction. That includes filters that are certified for PFOA and PFOS specifically under NSF ANSI 53 and 58, and others that are certified for total PFAS under those same standards. The databases are powerful, but they're not exactly user-friendly, not standardized, and I know a lot of people either get lost or give up when they try to search them. So I wanted to do that legwork and at least compile a list of additional options you can look into that are verified for PFAS reduction. Now, I've linked a Google Sheet with all of these additional PFAS certified filters down in the description for you. Some of these are on my radar for future videos, especially once I have a dedicated testing space with confirmed PFAS in the source water, so I can put them head to head and see how they perform in the real world. Okay, so at this point, you might be wondering which I'd personally recommend for your situation. If you want the highest overall performance, or you're in a rental situation, I'd start with Aquatru. The carafe is my pick if you want glass and care about minimizing plastic contact. The Classic is the better choice if you want a bigger purified water tank and slightly lower cost per gallon. If you like the idea of a plug-and-play countertop system but don't want reverse osmosis, the Aquasana clean water machine is a great fit. I'd lean towards this one for renters or apartment situations where you want an easy non-RO upgrade with great certification coverage. If you're on a tight budget or you just want to start filtering PFAS without spending hundreds up front, the Culligan ZeroWater pitcher is a good fit. You're trading shorter filter life and higher ongoing cost for that low upfront price and simple setup. I'd recommend this one also for renters or folks maybe in dorms where counter space may be more limited. If you own your home and can drill holes for a dedicated faucet and drain line and want purified water on demand, I'd look hard at the Waterdrop G3. It's the one I'd choose for families or those who need larger volumes of filtered water, who are filling big bottles, cooking with filtered water, or just don't want to think about filling tanks or waiting for gravity. You pay more upfront and it's an invasive install, but you're rewarded with a fast flow and a very low cost per gallon over time. And if you specifically want a stainless steel gravity filter with minimal plastic, that's where the Culligan MaxClear might make sense. I'd recommend it to people who like the Berkey style systems but want official third-party certifications backing up their performance claims, and who are okay with slower flow and higher filter costs. Beyond those, make sure to check out that larger list of other PFAS-certified filters I pulled from the NSF, WQA, and IATMO databases if none of these will work for your needs. I've linked my full reviews, that list of PFAS-certified filters that I compiled, and more information on my data-driven scoring system down in the description for your convenience. If this helped you make sense of which water filters are best for PFAS removal, give this video a like to let me know. And if you want to see my more in-depth reviews of some of the top products here like Aquatru or Waterdrop, stick around for the next video. Click or tap to keep watching.